Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Well, happy Eid, guys. It's a holiday for you if you are a Muslim man or Muslima woman. It wasn't much of a holiday for me because my son totally forgot and made plans with a bunch of people. So I just sat home and contemplated some stuff, and I decided to get on the internet, and I was cyber attacked today. And it's the third time this week. I don't know what to make of it. It's like I was listening to Veronica, who has the Higher Realm Holistics channel. And when she went to make her daily vlog, basically all of a sudden these people across the street started blaring this loud noise, and then something else happened, and it was just overwhelming for her. And her higher guidance said that was just meant to distract you. It's like the evil forces are, taking over. And I was thinking, oh yeah, but I'm above that, right? I'm in the fifth dimension, and I know she is too, so I don't know why she's still 3D linear thinking, That's what I was thinking. And then I'm like, well, you know what though? She is in Florida, and there's a lot more people around her that understand what she's doing, and there might be a lot more resistance, which is probably why she's there. And then after I got done watching her video, I get a phone call. And if you guys ever get this phone call, just hang up and ignore it because it's BS and it's a scam. But I got a little panicked. And so what happened was the phone rang. I never answered my phone. So I answered it. And I should know better, but I answered it, and they said, so your Social Security number has been compromised. We are going to rescind your benefits and put a hold on your Social Security number, which made no sense. But then I realized I don't know if they could do that or not, even though I didn't think they ever could. And then it said, but when it said you're going to be turned into the authorities, and your number, you won't get any benefits anymore. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm living off of benefits right now temporarily because my husband died and I'm raising my kid. And in 16 months, I lose everything anyway. And I'm like, oh God, this is like the last thing I need. I've got to go take care of my visa in 2 weeks to stay in this country. And I need that income as proof that I can live here. So I panicked, and then I spent a good hour or two looking up all this information on Social Security and called them and left them a message, and they never got back to me. 4 days ago, I got a cyber attack message. Somebody went to Metaphysical Soul Speak's website, which my website, soulspeakradio.com, and said that they have access to my bank account, my computer, and my phone, and all of my emails, and all of my private photos, and that if I don't give them 1 Bitcoin to their Bitcoin wallet, which they sent me the number for, that I would basically have every single picture in my computer and my phones and in all my correspondence. All of my correspondence will be sent out to every person in my correspondence. And I'm thinking, really, you're going to send 500,000 emails that are spam mostly from Google to all the other people who are spamming me? That's great, And then it said, and I think it also said on Facebook, right? So I'm like, and then also, so you're going to gather up all of my travel photos and send that out to my family and friends. That's also great because, obviously, I haven't gotten to it because, and then it says, and you will become, and we will turn all of your information and stuff over to the authorities, and you will become a person of interest. And I'm like, okay, these people don't know me because I just passed an FBI background check, and they don't know me because I don't have anything that would be of value to anybody who would want to try to hijack my computer for money or to take over like anything. Like, I don't have any naked pictures. I mean, I don't have anything, like at all. I mean, some man the other day sent me a picture of his dick. I don't even know who the hell he was. He says, remember me from way back when, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I've never heard of this guy in my life. So I reported him, deleted and blocked him. I think it was just a random spam thing. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't have anything like that on my computer or my phones or nothing. I don't, it's like, sorry, I'm a light worker. You don't really have anything on me. Go to the authorities and tell them that I'm helping humanity ascend. Morons, So I was worried about it enough to contact the FBI, and I sent them all this information that I know. And they said that if I don't pay them by the 3rd, that they were going to hijack my computer until I pay them. So I figured, well, they're probably bluffing because they sent me information on my contact form on my website. They didn't actually have my email. They didn't actually contact me by my phone. So that was one attack. The second one was the Social Security. And then today, after like 2 hours trying to find the number for Social Security, I get on my computer and it said that I have to add an extra password to 68.young-purple.ga. And so I looked that up and I found the actual IP address for the person who's ransomwaring my computer right now, which is in Lower Manhattan. But it also said that the main company of that IP address is in Europe, and I found the address in Europe where they are. So once again, now I'm going to have to tomorrow go and contact the FBI, who did not get back to me from 4 days ago, back when this was going to be like a problem. And now it's after the date that they just said they're going to ransom me. So 3 freaking cyber attacks. 4 if you count the naked picture from like a little bit under a week ago. Basically 4 things. And so then I realized Veronica is not just like making crap up. She's not a low-level person. She's an extremely high-level person. So, and she's getting some really good information. I think she's a portal worker and a grid keeper, and she's also channeling beings from all over the place. She channeled like a star and some ETs just like in the past 24 hours. So she's kind of like me. Like, we're both like kind of channeling things and doing our thing, and then we keep getting these weird attack like things. And a lot of it for me has been like people on various websites asking me really stupid questions, just why aren't you married? You're beautiful, stupid sexist questions. And I just feel like, well, those are men being stupid men being stupid men. Not all men are stupid. Most men are not like that, but for whatever frickin' reason, they've been contacting me, so. And they don't understand it when I'm trying to explain, don't call me pretty princess. That's something you call a 4-year-old. Don't say, I want to kiss you, pretty princess, and have you by my side in my bed because you sound like a freaking pedophile. It's just a sexist dude. So I don't know. I've been deleting and blocking dudes left and right for the past year, and I still remain alone and lonely until my twin flame, who I'm sure, if he's my twin, I know he's aware of crap like sexism, and he's probably well informed and probably has a decent heart. I'm hoping he comes my way because I'm going crazy. So on top of all of this computer crap, and now I've had to delete Google Chrome. I've deleted it 3 times. I've gotten anti-ransomware and anti-malware now on my computer. And 3 times I've run scans. I've deleted all the things that said it could be a problem. And yet, when I reinstall Chrome, it's still there. So now I'm trying to put everything on my Google Drive. I'm trying to put everything on my memory sticks. I have to go out and get a lot more memory sticks just to make sure that I can at least keep my writings and pictures of my children from our vacations. So feeling a little discouraged, a lot discouraged and a little defeated. They haven't won yet. My computer's still on, still working, but I guess the worst case scenario, I don't negotiate with terrorists. If I was in New York, I would have been looking for them with a baseball bat already, to be honest, or in person. Little pansy ass, if they have a problem with me, come on down to Ecuador, we will frickin' rumble. Serious. I have rumbled with several people at once and I've always won, just to say. But, I'm mad about that, and at the same time, it's like, it's just frustrating. It's like, I'm not going to give them a Bitcoin. They could go take a flying fucking leap off a bridge, and I could afford another computer, you know what I mean? It's like the worst case scenario, they ruin my computer and I spend $400 on myself versus $8,000 on assholes in lower Manhattan with nothing better to do. If they live in Manhattan, they have enough money to survive. So, sorry, if you were in Brooklyn or Queens, then I'd be like, well, fuck you anyway, but, still not going to pay you. Sorry, still not going to pay you. But, no, I'm turning it all into the FBI. I've tracked them back to that. I've tracked all of this information back to them. So I don't know. I doubt they listen to the damn show. They're obviously not spiritual, because if they were, they wouldn't be attacking a spiritual person. So I don't know. Right now I'm feeling a little weird and a little attacked and really alone, really, really alone. I'm in all these other layers of feelings. I don't know if you guys have been going through this today, specifically, like if you have any layers of grief, depression, just frustration, feelings of frustration. I'm burning up as if I'm sitting in 110 degree heat right now. I'm like sweating and burning up like I'm so hot, but it's like 50 degrees outside. So how the hell can that be? My apartment, I don't even have a heater. My stove is my heater, and I have a couple candles. So that's all we use for heat, because we don't really need any heat, but I'm like burning up like as if I am completely like in Los Angeles in August. That's what I feel like right now. So then I thought, well, maybe I'll go on my phone to get my email, which I didn't log out of from my Chrome, obviously, because the ransomware thing hit when I was logged into several websites. So I'm worried about it all. I'm just worried about it. I don't know if you guys want to send me love and light, that would be helpful. Help me find this asshole in New York. It's like ridiculous. I hate cowards and people that do this to someone else. They're just assholes, and they're cowards, They're like trying to show how smart they are by screwing somebody else over. And it's just so irritating. This is not the first hacker I've had to deal with. It's like the third or fourth time I've had to deal with it on my computers. My kids both have had issues. I've had to buy them extra computers because of it in the past. So I don't know. My son had warned me. He said, you're getting famous-ish, and I'm like, I'm not really famous yet, guys, but I still have a very little podcast. I've been mentioned a couple times in articles, but it's still not, it's metaphysical. It's not like, it's not like I'm talking about sports, because, everybody wants to hear a podcast on sports. I don't know. I'm just frustrated today. We are at Ascension Symptoms 97. We haven't budged since yesterday. I was going to do Weird News Wednesday, but I really couldn't find all that much weird news. I found a couple UFOs in places, and I'm going to probably mention it. If more weird stuff happens in the next 48 hours, I'll try to have Freaky Friday. Otherwise, I have to put it off for another week or a week and a half. is there really wasn't all that much strangeness. I mean, two things I've already reported on: the lightning strike of the Soyuz rocket, and I don't know, it was like some earthquake somewhere. And I haven't really had any, I mean, I've looked and looked and looked. Even Tyler of Secure Team, he took a week off. YouTube, he had like 500,000 followers, and YouTube decided to demonetize him on a whim, and they had a very lame excuse. They said that he was clickbait, even though he wasn't. And I think he got remonetized, but everyone was very angry about it. He's like, you guys, I have to go out and get a job if I can't get monetized for this. So what the hell? And I mean, I understand that because I'm trying to make a living with my podcast too. And I have a year and a half before, well, the you-know-what hits the fan, and I will have to work and give up the podcast if I don't get enough listeners. So I don't know, if you guys feel free to tell everyone you know, go to your local New Age store, put up a flyer saying, hey, listen to this podcast. That would be helpful to me, just tell other people that are spiritually minded. If you have a New Age church, maybe go tell everybody, hey, if you guys are interested, listen to Metaphysical Soul Speak on any podcast platform, because frankly, I am syndicated now and I'm on every single one. So I don't know, stuff like this, spiritual stuff is always harder to grow because it's not really the mainstream enough. It's not least common denominator. We're very specialized over here. We're very synchronized with higher, loftier goals versus everybody getting a quick thrill because of a game or something. I don't know. It's just, when I look at all the podcasts that are like the top most popular podcasts are like about sports cars or about business coaching or about the stock market or, and I'm interested in 2 out of the 3 of those things. Okay, 3 out of 3. I'm actually interested in all those things. Not enough to listen to a podcast about it. I mean, when I need to sit down and relax and I want to hear a podcast, it's 9 times out of 10 something spiritual. I listen to Why Don't You Date Me with the comedian. She's hilarious. Just because, I mean, her dating life is more pathetic than mine, so it makes me feel good. And Nicole Byer, and I just adore her anyway. She's the one who stars on, she has her own show called Nailed It, where people try to make desserts and fail. Should be called Failed It, but okay. And I don't know. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I'm trying, working at this every single day since January 3rd. Just feeling frustrated today, I don't know. Are you guys feeling frustrated? Are you feeling like, what the hell? Like, I know I'm supposed to be doing this. I know this is my passion. I know that I'm doing the right thing 100%, but I have no idea. It's like, I can't even I had to download 2 different, I had to go on, I never use Microsoft anything. I had to use the Microsoft browser to download Firefox just in case. And so now I'm like, just trying to get the Google Chrome back. It's complete. I hate computer stuff anyway. I'm going to have to find a computer nerd to help me. And luckily I do know an American man who lives here, and he was helping my psychologist where I was going for brainwave optimization treatments, which are really cool. If you don't know what that is, I'll do a show on it and soon, and you guys will hear all about it. It's pretty cool. But anyway, it is what it is. As far as Schumann Resonance today, at 7:30 in the morning UTC time, they write, there were 14 hours of calm from 11 to 1 today, when a modest peak of 20 hertz has slightly moved the flatness of the amplitude chart. At 5:45, however, a new movement began and reached initially 55 hertz and was followed at 6:10 UTC time by one at 60 hertz, which is the strongest so far. Then at 1700, they write, after the 60 hertz peak, the amplitude gradually returned within 5 hours to normal values. then at 23:30, which they never do a late evening report, they said this new chart for today shows an unusual situation of difficult explanation. Oh my God, welcome to my life, right? Okay, sorry. The amplitude is found to be on normal values. The only thing that has a relationship with the red shown are the graph of the quality and the frequency. So I don't know what that even means, right? Now I want to go. And they haven't put up the June charts. They only have the May charts up, so I can't even look at it. So this new chart for today shows an unusual situation of difficult explanation. The amplitude is found to be on normal values. The only thing that has a relationship, but the only things that have a relationship with the red shown are the graph of the quality and frequency. I mean, I've been looking at these graphs for a while and I don't really see red, and then they're like green and blue and white and occasionally red, but I don't know what this means. This is very, very weird. But okay, 60 hertz. We'll just say 60 hertz peak is like the peak for today. That's pretty much it. I don't really know what else to make of that. But it does seem a very weird and difficult day. It has been for me. You know, it was a day of celebration and I've been alone. You know, it's supposed to be a day to celebrate with your family, and for the most part, I've been alone today. You know, for an hour, I smoked hookah with my son and his friend who came over to smoke hookah. And that was awkward and weird, so I had to go in my room because I just felt like maybe I should leave them alone. I want to be like the hovering, I'm not a helicopter mom, so I didn't want to act like one, you know what I mean? So it was just weird, though. I don't know. But he seemed like a lovely kid, so that was nice. That was good. Glad my son is making friends. That's really good. He's an extrovert, and I'm an introvert, so it's been a long road for him to get to understand who I am as a person and why I do what I do. He was not sure of my motivations. You know, why do you want to stay home so much? You know, it's like, okay, I had to explain everything, and it took me a while. It took me a couple years to explain myself to my kid so he understands me, but I don't know. The past 6 months, I don't know if you guys have noticed that the relationships that did remain intact for you, did you understand that you were increasing your understanding of the other and your ability to love them was like more clear and the road was made open? I mean, for me, in the relationships that have kept intact, and the new relationships I started to form in the past few months, it has been really incredible, actually. And I'm very grateful and appreciative of that, because even though a lot of people have fallen away, whether they're dead or just fallen away from my life and they sorted themselves out, and then new people have started to come into my life, and I'm grateful. Oh, yeah, speaking of that, I wanted to welcome Angela. She is a new listener who favorited my podcast today. So that was super cool. That was like my highlight of my day, to be honest. So thank you, Angela. I really appreciate it. It's one of those things, like, I know that a lot of you that I have not mentioned on the air have actually probably added me or favorited my podcast, but on other platforms and other players other than Anchor. And so I don't get to see that. So if I've missed out on telling you, then I apologize. I just honestly don't know, because I'm not on all of the other platforms looking around to see who's favorited me. I'm too busy to do that. But I do get people following me lately. I've had like 3 or 4 new followers on Twitter, but I don't know if it's because of a comment I made that's related to the show or something I said that had nothing to do with my show. You know, so I don't know. This is Pride Month. I wanted to say happy Pride Month to everybody that will be celebrating in the LGBTQIA. It's getting so long. I remember back in the day when it's just LGBT. I think way early in the day it was like LG, and then they finally let in the bisexuals to the club. Now it's like so many letters, but anyway, Pride is Pride, and I'm really glad that it's Pride Month. I'm hoping that I'll get a chance this time to march with the gay pride in the Gay Pride Parade or LGBTQIA parade again here in Cuenca. I did last year, and there was a pretty big showing. I mean, it was like 1,000 people in the street marching, and it was super, super fun. And I met these people that they made their own t-shirts, and it was like a unicorn doing a dab, and I'm like, that is the coolest thing. And I mean, by doing a dab was like, it's not smoking dabs. It's not related to marijuana. It's like related to dancing and hip hop. Anyway, it's just a dance move, and I just thought it was like super cute. And I'm like, your t-shirts are so awesome. And there was a whole family that came out for their trans female to male transgender uncle, and I thought that was like super sweet. So I love to see the support of families supporting somebody who's going through something painful. So, and of course I miss my son because he's transgender, and it's Pride Month. I wish I was in San Francisco and we could go marching in the parade together. That would have been freaking cool. Would have been fun to drop acid with my son and go to the parade, but no. I'm in Ecuador. Anyway, you guys, I know I never ever do this 2 nights in a row, but my higher guidance literally said today you have to channel the Pleaidians. So I am already attached or connected to Michael Sherhan of Ashtar Command, who is a Pleaidian, and he's out there in our upper atmosphere beaming light to our planet, and he's working really hard, and he's kind of in charge of a bunch of ships that are beaming light our way. And well, he's going to tell us more about it. He said he had some more information, and I hope it's going to be new information. It sounds interesting to me. Anyway, I'm going to take a quick break, and when I come back, we are going to hear from Michael Sherhan of Ashtar Command from the Pleaides. And, you know, the Pleaidians are our space brothers and sisters. They look just like us, and a lot of us probably have DNA that is actually directly related to the Pleaides. They helped to build Easter Island. They actually were here on our planet for thousands of years. I'm pretty sure is what I remember Cryon saying. That's a channel by Lee Carroll. And go check that out if you ever get a moment. You're going to be blown away. He actually is a trance channel where his body is taken over and his voice actually changes. And I don't channel that way. If you listen to my Mother Mary yesterday or any of my channelings, I use telepathy. So sometimes I have to stop and ask a question and make sure through muscle testing that I actually heard what I heard, because the message is only as good as the filter, and I'm just the filter in the situation. So sometimes I feel like maybe I didn't hear it correctly, maybe I interpreted it wrong. So in those moments I feel a little bit of a snag or a drag in the energy. I go, wait a minute, did I get that right, or is that just from me? And then I will recorrect it if I did not hear it correctly. So I'm doing my best. I've been telepathying. Is that a word? I've been telepathing. That's the word. I've been telepathing since I was a very little child, about probably a baby, but I've been doing this since I was about 2 or 3. I used to telepath with a crow who taught me lessons. I think it was a grandfather in form of a raven telling me stuff about the world and God. And I've been on the spiritual path this entire life, not just awakening a couple years ago and being confused and, oh my God, now I'm a light worker. I've been my whole life known I was here to help, and I've been consciously aware of it my whole life. And anyway, I'm just finally bringing out the fact that I can telepath in the past few months. So yeah, doing this publicly is a whole different ballgame than just doing it for family and friends. Anyway, I'll be right back, guys, and we will be speaking with Michael Sherhan of Ashtar Command. Hey you, have you ever thought about having your own podcast like me? Was it even a New Year's resolution? For me, it sure was. But as I've been looking into this for months, I was daunted. There's so many questions I had. When I was trying to get this off the ground, I was wondering, how do I record the episode? How do I get it across all the platforms? How do I get my podcast on Apple Podcasts when I don't even have an iPhone? How do I get it onto Spotify and all the other places? How do I get people to listen? And how do I make money from my podcast? How do I edit it? Oh my God, I had all these questions and I was so confused until I discovered the simple answer is Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and it is ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors too, so you can get paid to podcast. All you need to do is record it. You don't have to go out and look for people to advertise on your show. They help you. So basically what I like about podcasting is I don't have to have a video of myself. You don't know if my hair is dirty or if I'm still in my pajamas or even if I'm wearing makeup. Haha. And it's so easy. I could do this from the comfort of my own home in my living room using this amazing app right from my cell phone. So easy, right? So if you've always wanted to start your own podcast and make money, by the way, doing it, please go to anchor.fm/start. That is anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters that are already using Anchor. Again, that's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast and I can't wait to favorite you. Woohoo! Let's be broadcast podcast buddies. I'll see you there. All right, guys. I am connected to Michael Sherhan of Ashtar Command already, and he says, I'm like, okay, I want to get more, into a deeper trance. I want to be able to hear you clearer. And he goes, okay, let's take a deep breath. And then he says, my mind to your mind, my thoughts to your thoughts, and I just lost it. The Pleaidians are notorious for laughing and joking, and he knows that I'm a Star Trek fan. So he started saying that line, if you don't know anything about Star Trek, I sound completely crazy right now, but that's something that's super famous since the 60s that Spock says. Okay, so, and he says, we really are familiar with your pop culture, so... He says it's fun to have a little fun sometimes. Pleaidians are a lot like us. They have very similar senses of humor, and they're just like people. They're just like us. They just happen to live on another planet, and that's really the only difference. Maybe they have better technology. He says, yeah, granted. And they do live in the fifth dimension. So he's like, we're just a little bit ahead of you. That's it. He's like, they were actually the same as us. They actually were in a third dimensional world, and then everything changed at once, and they just kind of shifted over to the fifth dimension. So, but not physically, not the way we're doing it. Like when they would like die in the third dimension, but when they got reborn, they'd be in the fifth. And after a while, everyone was just in the fifth. And that was still a hard transition for them, but it's not like what we're going through. We are like the experiment of the universe. In this cauldron of pressure and, oh my God. All right, so let's get a little bit serious now. All right, Michael, we're here. Okay, cool. He's right here with me. He says, welcome everybody to this telepathic channeling. I am so pleased that you could make it to hear this, no matter if you're hearing it tonight or if you're going to hear it sometime in the future. Whenever you hear the message, then it's probably meant for you. So what's going on, Michael? I'm asking. So what's going on with the Pleaidians right now? What's happening in the world, galaxy, universe, whatever? Many of you have seen our starships. We are stationed outside of your upper atmosphere. We have formed basically into a formation in which we are pulling energy together. Okay, he's like saying not pulling, I think he says pooling. They're like pulling the energy that is just naturally there from the grand central sun. Okay, and it's coming through the portal of what is our sun, and we already knew this, but he says we are continuing to do that. We are sending you light codes. Did you say silver light codes? Ooh, that's cool. And gold? Okay, so they're sending us silver light codes and gold light codes. What do they do? They are upper realm, higher vibratory codes that will connect you beyond your 8th chakra to your next 2 chakras. The rainbow chakra, not rainbow chakra, sorry guys, that was my flub, he didn't say that. The rainbow coding that we sent you, the rainbow light codes that we sent you, was to help cleanse the lower vibrational densities out of your bodies, to work through your chakras, and specifically to, are you saying fetter out the energy from your hearts in which you have held so much pain for so long. We can see your vibrations, and we can see where your body harbors the lower densities and vibrations. So we're doing our best to channel the energy from the grand central sun as it comes through the portal of your sun. And how you receive it is up to you. Not everybody is receiving the same amount of energy. Those of you who are actively working on this are growing faster by leaps and bounds, and we are so pleased and happy for you. We are proud of you that you are taking the steps and you are facing your ascension with bravery and with complete spiritual integrity. We want you to know that we are here because we are like your brothers and your sisters. We are family in a spiritual sense. We feel this way about you. We hope in time you learn to trust us and feel the same way about us. Because we're here for your highest good. We don't have to be here. There are other things we could be doing with our lives and our time. But like those of you who have chosen a light worker path or a light warrior path, we have determined the best thing for us to do is to follow what the One Will wants for us. And we were asked to come here by our higher guidance as well. Yeah, that must bring up in your minds, do we have religion? Do we have spirituality? We got rid of our religions a long time ago, and we have opted to embrace a greater spirituality that includes everybody. All Pleaidians understand that they are one with each other, and we understand too that we are one with you as well. Just because we're born on different planets does not mean we are all not of the one. it's imperative that you get through this, that you understand this on every level that you possibly can. We wish at this time to change gears and talk about something else. Okay. He's taking, I don't know if he's drinking water. He's doing something. Are you drinking water? He says, I guess like the equivalent of water on your planet. Well, it's not soda, is it? No. He's like, no. He says we require nourishment, and we have, it's kind of like a liquid light it's a liquid form, but it's a nourishing. The only way he could come up with it is like if it's vitamins and minerals, like a liquid vitamin mineral drink. So kind of like a Gatorade that's healthy. He says, yeah, a little bit like that. Yeah, it does. So it has like electrolytes. Yes, exactly. It does. So you're telling me that you're not so high up in dimension that you don't have a body anymore. Oh, you absolutely have bodies. Yes, absolutely. We're just in a different phase. We're in a different waveform phase than you are in. We don't vibrate at the same rate as you. We vibrate a little bit higher and a little bit out of phase from you. You guys will get it. You'll understand in time what all of this means. It might just sound like gibberish to you at this moment, but don't worry and don't panic about it, because when you get higher up, we will synchronize our phases, our waveforms to match yours. And it's very technical, but we have a way in which we can phase the same as you, and you will eventually see us. And that's why we actually are trying to do that with our ships. When we wish to be seen, we are seen. You'll see our triangular ships, and they're like glowing. Now, what about the white balls? Were those also Pleaidian? As such, yes, very good. Good eye, he says. Okay, because I saw a video in which there was like 30 ships, and they're very little. He says, yes, they're like little pods for people from our society to go in, and we maneuver them together almost like your blue angels. Oh, yeah. He's saying like the, is it Air Force? I think it's Air Force. He says, yes, you have air shows in your airstrips, and we've seen them, and they're so fun to watch. We're like, wow, they're so amazing. They can maneuver these ships. He's meaning airplanes in such a form, or jets. I think they're fighter jets. He says exactly as such. That's exactly true. He says, we have watched from afar. They are really impressive to us. Well, we do something similar in our little one-man light ships. And sometimes if you see a bunch of dots, it looks like dots if we're high up in the, we're still below your atmosphere, but we want to make a showing, and we want you to understand how much we love you, and we want to give you that generating within you that feeling of peace and calm. And our ships, if you look at it in one way, are quite beautiful, and they are a silvery white light, and it's a little confusing at first when you see them, but when you do see them, in a way it makes you happy. And we want them to look like bubbles bubbling up, like this happy energy, and we want to fill you with joy. So we go into these ships and we go into a meditation, and we just kind of float along in this meditative state, so that, and we phase in sync with the people that can see us. And you can capture our ships on video or on your camera, but only if you yourself are high enough in vibration. If you aren't, you're not going to see them anyway, and your camera won't capture it. So, okay, I was worried about, or I'm wondering about this, Michael. Are our cameras able to see what we see? He says, as such, to an extent, yes, absolutely. But the technology that you have is still very limited and cannot see the higher realm colors to the extent that your higher vision and sight can. So you're saying if somebody has a camera and they point it to the sky randomly and they don't see any ship or anything, will their camera pick it up? Sometimes yes and sometimes no. It depends. If they're about to make a quantum leap, they will see it. If not, no. And so it's not that you guys are just appearing to whoever has a high vibration. No, we don't discriminate from our end. What it is how you say people sort themselves out of your life. Well, people sort themselves into ours with their ability to see higher vibration, and they sort themselves into our life with their commitment to things like meditation and that bubbling inner happiness that we spoke of. And when people do high vibration music and art, and even just dancing, just shaking your booty when you're he's like, when you're doing your housework, I think he's referring to me directly, but I don't know. He says you and everyone who does it. Okay, all right, fine. Anybody who like dances around happy while they clean their house, for example, that's somebody who will energetically gel with us. All right, okay, that makes sense. Okay, so what else can you tell us, Michael? It's not long now. It seems like this has been such a long road. This is June. Okay, we were told, Michael, this is me, Elena, talking now to Michael. Michael, we were told that we are kind of in the center core of our ascension process right now. During the month of June, there's going to be a lot of changes. And when we hit July, it's going to be like we're living in a whole nother world. Do you see that coming? Are you able to see the future? Do you guys have a way to go into the future? I don't know about your time travel. I don't know what's going on there. And so can you talk to us about that? All right. We are able to travel along your timelines, but we try not to go into the 3D, and we try to stay in our upper part of the 5D. So what we see isn't always clear as to what will absolutely happen. Again, the ascension it's for the whole, but each person raises up according to his need, willingness, and ability. And when we say willingness, we mean willingness to let things go, letting the material world go. This is harder for you than it was for us, because we just let it go in a normal way. And then when we were reborn, we came back to a higher vibration. So for your people, you are... Okay, I need to take a deep breath because I feel like I'm losing the connection, and I think it might just be a little bit of anxiety came up or something. Oh, he says, no, don't worry. I was drinking my drink again. Great. I'm like, did I lose a connection? Where are you, Michael? Drink your Gatorade on your own time. See, you guys, you have to understand that I have long conversations with this man when I'm not on my show. Like, I've had many, many days where it's just Michael and I talking all day long and laughing and joking with each other. So we know each other well enough to kind of kid around. So, all right. He says, you're all being lifted and boosted, okay? And some of you are lifting and boosting yourself a lot faster than others. And a lot of you are still asleep. It's going to create a vacuum space, though, because after... He says, in your example, and what a lot of New Age people, channelers, light workers, what have you, they say that there's 144,000. Once 144,000 are lifted up, the rest will follow. He says, it may be closer to 133,000. No one knows for sure. But whatever that effect is, that one person that tips the balance and tips the scales in the favor of the light, and you're on the very brink of it right now, that will create, in a way, a spiritual vacuum. You're going to have the people who are actively working on this consciously going up, 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 up. You're going to have the people that are completely asleep. They're going to groggily headed, lift their heads up and they're going to go, huh? And the people that are kind of in the middle are just going to automatically and very quickly, lightning fast, with great swiftness and speed, wake up, and their ascension is going to be extremely rapid but extremely painful. Okay, so it's almost like when someone's giving birth and they have labor and everything goes pretty slow over the course of 26 hours versus 2 hours. The 26 hours is just long and dragged out, but the 2-hour one is quick and super, super painful. He says, yeah, you got it. That's exactly that's pretty much what it is. If you've been on the ascension path for 10 years and you've known it, it's a very gradual shift and change. It's very gentle on your system, but it's a huge shock to those that are going to be in that vacuum. The third wavers and fourth and fifth wavers are really going to have a time of it. We're going to have to be there with bandages or spiritual first aid, if you will. But we will have already, okay, so he's kind of showing me that I'm in the second wave. The people who are already there, they're still beaming love and light towards us. And the people that are us in the second wave, we're working on it. And when we get to where the first wavers are, we're going to turn around and together with the first wavers, we're going to beam love and light to the third wavers, and et cetera, et cetera. Now, what about the people who are just not going to wake up? He says we're working on it logistically, so they're going to be moved to another planet by you guys. He's like, I don't want to say exactly we are going to work on it logistically, though. There are other races, other beings, other people who are coming from other planets, and they're all working together trying to figure this out, because when the 3D world starts to really break up and it won't exist anymore after a while, and all the patterns of that world have to be intact in the fifth dimension so that you feel comfortable and still at home and still at ease. And for you, from your perspective, it will be as if it still exists. And after a while, you're going to understand that it does not. But that's okay. It's like a rocket booster falling away, which we talked about in previous channelings, and the denseness that you hold in places like your heart, your stomach, where your third chakra is, that denseness will lighten up immediately when the third dimensional world falls apart completely. But it's not going to appear to fall apart from where you're standing. Don't panic. It's not that you're going from a third dimensional density to living the life of air or something. You're not going to just be clouds floating around. You will still have bodies. They're just going to be different bodies, and they're going to be so much easier to manipulate with your mental matter, because your mind does not have to conquer over matter anymore. Your mind creates the matter directly. You're not going to have to force anything anymore. Your lives are going to be gentler and easier. And plus, you're going to have your space brothers and sisters with you to kind of show you the ropes and talk a lot about this. We will have meditation centers set up around the planet to help people ease into this. You might start to panic because you remember the old world. You might have days where you really need us. We're not seeing that you're going to get to the fifth dimension and not have any emotions that you consider to be negative. But what we want you to do is consider that your emotions are not good or bad. They're just emotions, do you see? We're trying to get you all to the point at which you understand not only are you one with each other, and not only are you one with us. Because in the fifth dimensions where the law of one works, you have to understand that that is inclusive of everything in your world, not just people. All of your emotions should be considered equal and valid and good and okay, but not good or bad is in the old sense of the word. They just are. If you feel in discomfort, an emotion that's a discomfort, this emotion should be looked at and healed. We will have groups of healing people energy. He's showing me like kind of groups where if you're feeling discomfort, you're going to be able to just walk into a node. You're saying a node? Yeah, he says a node where basically you just walk into the center and there'll be people standing around in a circle and they'll all beam light at you and your energy will shift and change and your discomfort emotion will turn into a positive light vibration or comfort emotion. We will set up centers for meditation and centers for emotional balancing, we will call it. Your chakras are going to function differently because your bodies will be different. He says, oh, the loveliness that is to come. You have no idea what you're in for. The colors that you have yet to see. You have been getting glimpses and glimmers of the beautiful colors in the sky. And sometimes when you use your higher vision, you could see the UV spectrum. But there's more spectrums above that you might not even be aware of. Your science has only gone so far. Just wait until you are opened up to a different dimension. It's literally going to blow your mind. He says you will be blown away. He's using my vernacular and he's laughing about it. We are constantly focused on healing. We go to bed and we pray that everything is going smoothly for all of you. When we go to bed, we pray and we send you our love from our own hearts and good well wishes from our own minds. When we are awake during the day, we're beaming energy from the center of the universe to you from your sun directly. We do this because we are here in service of humanity. There's nothing that we can gain that we have not already gained in our own home world. With the Pleaidians, I can only speak for my people, the Pleaidians, but I know where we come from on a level of mind and heart and spirit. And we really truly feel that we are already one with you. Because that is where we are coming from. We want you to not be afraid. We want you to take heart and understand everything we do comes from love. You will see it when you see us physically. When you get to that point and you look at us in the eyes, you're going to see the love, the light, and the calm beauty and the meditative alpha states we try to maintain in our general everyday interactions. This is why we're lighthearted. We can laugh and joke. We are very, very jovial. We love to have parties where people gather together and commune as one, and everybody is included. And you will feel comfortable and welcome in our society. And we will help you to develop your society, because surely your societies will indeed be changing. We have seen many different futures that are possible along different timelines. So we want to hesitate when we want to give you a future picture. We don't want to give you a specific future and it turns out that your future didn't quite make the cut, or that your future is maybe better than that. We don't want to hold you back, and we also don't want you to feel discouraged. So we don't want to, at this time, mention what we see for your future, but you're still going to be blown away at all the timelines that we have looked into. Our ships can go between dimensions. We know about, like we said before, the energy waveform phasing in and out. We understand how a lot of this stuff works. Our technology and our scientists are very high in their knowledge. We are sending you plasma, gamma rays in higher realms to you, in the higher realm self that you inhabit. See, you don't see it from your perspective all the time, but you have so many selves. You are so many in one. Earthlings are so interesting to us. You don't understand how important you are, how grand this experiment was that you have all volunteered to take part of. Some of you, he says, some of you, I still see that you believe that you're almost like a spiritual victim, like you're being forced into spiritual growth against your will. And it might feel like that because it's hard, it's growing pains, but you decided and determined to be here at this time. You wanted to come and experience the end of the grand experiment. The results are almost here. We all are just waiting. We said this before, waiting almost with bated breath. We cannot wait to see how beautiful you turn out on the other side of this, on the other end of it. We are holding your hands. Sometimes you can feel us physically holding your hands sometimes. If you call us to your side, we will do our best to send our love. We will attempt sometimes to touch you. If you go to the star grid, you know about the star grid? This is so cool. Okay. He says, if you go to the star grid, we will ping you. This is the thing. We call it ping. We're going to ping you, P-I-N-G. You can ping each other by try to touch each other on the shoulder or on the hand or lightly, gently on the head. So if you imagine you're kind of brushing someone's hair out of their eyes, but you can't really see each other in the same way that you see each other in the third dimension. But when you use your star chakra and you go to the star grid, you can see people's spirits. And it's not just a bunch of white souls, it's many different colors. It's very, very lovely and beautiful. And we're so happy that this grid has been built so that you can meet each other and start practicing your telepathy, start practicing being multidimensional. And we're going to come and meet you at the star grid as well. And remember, guys, this is me, Elena, talking. Remember when I told you the other day to get to the star grid, all you literally need to say is, I want to be connected to the star grid. And then you meditate a little bit and you focus on your third eye and then your 8th chakra. Ask your spiritual team to be with you. And if you don't know about all that, go back into my archives, look at your spiritual team and listen to that. And that'll teach you how to connect and who do you invite to your spiritual team. So anyway, you look in your third eye, then you look into your 8th chakra, and from your 8th chakra is where you're going to see people on the star grid. And it's really easy. It's like an automatic thing. Your body already knows how to do it. So let's get back to anything else you want to add. Yes, by the way, I know you've mentioned this in your podcast already, and we do listen. Yay. I'm glad you guys listen. He says, yeah, of course. We get all the channels up here. Nice. Oh, yeah, I get the pun. He says, pun intended, get it? Yeah, many, many layers to that line, Michael. Okay, he says, your DNA is automatically coded and ready for different lights to be lit, so to speak. Have you ever stood in front of your house on a snowy Christmas Eve after decorating in one way or another, and you're like, okay, this is it, and you have a countdown in 1, 2, 3, and you plug in the lights, and your house is brilliant and so beautiful, and you feel so calm, and you feel a sense of accomplishment? That's where you're headed with your own DNA. It's being turned on one light at a time. All the gamma bursts, all the plasma, all the cosmic radiation, all the energy we are beaming at you from every which angle we can is growing you so fast, emotionally and spiritually, that it is automatically connecting your DNA. It's automatically connecting your neurons, your axons and dendrites are connecting in your brain. Everything is connecting in a way that is lighting you up like a Christmas tree from within your body. Your DNA is being changed in every moment, and in every decision you make to let something go, you just changed your DNA. Every time you've decided to let it slide if someone doesn't give you $1 in change that they should have, every time you decide not to yell at them, every time you decide not to be accusatory, but rather to go back with gentleness and love and say, I think there was $1 missing. And every time, and even if they say no, there wasn't, you could just let it go. Every time you make a kind decision, or decision to be embracing love and kindness above all else, every time you embrace the idea that you no longer want to hurt people, that's when your DNA changes just on a dime, just in a flash of a second, and you go up a little. Every time you decide to listen to high vibration music instead of no music, or worse, low vibration music, your DNA changes. Every time you embrace somebody and you wish them love and you say a silent prayer in your mind, your DNA changes. When you connect and commune with us, it changes your DNA. And your DNA, your body, your crystalline body is lit up more. And more of you goes into the being and the realm in which you belong. Your kingdom is coming. One of your religions says that, right? Thy kingdom come. Well, guess what? Little children, you are growing up and your kingdom is coming. It's like you're almost out of the woods. You're walking a long, long way. And when the clearing of the forest happens, the sky's going to be rainbow lights, colors everywhere. And you'll probably see us in our ships, and you're going to see your kingdom. You're not going to believe it when you see it. We love you. We're here for you. Try to telepath with us, because we're more than willing to work with every single one of you. We are your space brothers. We are the Pleaidians. We love you. We wish you well. And may your journey be swift as lightning, and that you come to the fifth dimension with Godspeed. We'll be in touch. I am Michael of Ashtar Command. All right. Whew. That was a good one, right, guys? Okay. Well, I don't really have much to add to that. That was pretty incredible. I was in trance for part of that, so I'm not going to remember a lot of it. I'm going to have to go listen to it myself. It always happens to me, like right after I'm done, I forget. I'm still connected to Michael. I still feel him here with me, but whew, I've come back down a little bit. All right. I love you guys too. Thank you for listening. Again, tell your friends and family. I need listeners. We need to grow so that we can spread the light everywhere we can. And if you ever need Reiki or any kind of healing, below your feet, there is a crystalline grid that I helped to build. It's in the 5th dimension. It is a bright pink. It's beautiful, pink and white light. And there's little silvery bits in it too. So if you see it a different color, that's okay too. It will come to you the way you need it. Just say, I need healing, and it will come immediately and free. If you need mental and emotional and psychological healing, maybe a little bit of spiritual healing, you could also go to the star grid. I see that as golden, but you might see it as something different. That's just my perception of it. I see it as kind of like a dark black sky with a golden grid, but that's just the way I'm visualizing it now. And I think as I raise up in vibrational change, same thing for you. You can create it. You're a creator too. You are a co-creator in the world that we are creating together. So make it the way you want. Glitter's allowed. High quality furniture. Put that up there on the grid. If you want to visualize high quality furniture, you're lounging on a velvet couch or something. I don't know. Leather, whatever. Pleather. Microfiber. I don't know. I don't know what you guys do. But yeah, just play around with some of these ideas of going up through the star chakra. I've done it a couple times. It's super fun, super interesting. And I'm going to try to, there's a book on how to learn how to telepath. As soon as I get my internet situation figured out, I'm going to read the book and do the exercises in it. And I'm going to talk about that, because I have a feeling it's possible for us to accelerate our telepathy. But I'm going to check the book and read it and see what my vibration is when I read it. See if it's of the light, which I think it is. But I don't want to give out the information until I know. And when I say know, I mean experience it directly. So is I don't want to put anyone in harm's way or on the wrong path. I want everyone to be right here on the right path for all of us. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I'm now signing off with peace and joy and the high vibes of the holy 5th dimension. Until next time, guys. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.